James is a gent coming out of Michigan, and James would need more evidence to not believe as evidence of God exists within mathematics and grammar. All right, James, it sounds like you're pretty savvy with mathematics and grammar. And I can speak for myself. I'm an attorney, allegedly, which means I'm bad at math, but I'm not bad at grammar. And Elliot, I don't know. But James, what do you got? Give us your best first opening argument for this.
Hey guys, how you doing? Yeah, I watch your show often. Secularity, man, you're cool. You got a good personality, man. You're cool. I like that. First,
good dude.
Yeah, I'm just gonna come out real with you guys. Christ Jesus revealed his numbers to me. So, the first thing I'm gonna throw at you is April 17th. That's when he was
17.
April 17th. April 17th.
April 17th.
April 7th.
Okay.
April 17th 4, and I can prove it.
April 17, like 4, like the year is like 4 that you're saying that's when Jesus was born?
No, that's when he was conceived.
Okay.
Wow.
Like I said, I know. Like I said, I was real, and I can prove it.
All right. Well,
okay. Let's just.
I know it's crazy.
Where's this going? Where
you had an experience? You had a revelation. Is it safe to say that you had a personal revelation, or did you find this from some external source?
No, it was like a revelation, and yeah, man, it's crazy. So I don't know where. Ask away, and I could probably answer it mathematically or grammarly, because everything's coded in the English language.
Okay, so you got a revelation that was when Jesus was conceived. Was that it? Was that the entirety of the revelation, or is there more? Does it like go to something? Does Jesus being conceived on that date like mean something, or is that just like a cool fact? Like Jesus was actually only had like 9 toes, you know? Like it. Where does this go from here?
No, I hear you. Basically, it was a couple month process, and I didn't see numbers or hear voices, nothing like that. Right. But yeah, basically, it was a 3-month process, and it started with different pieces, and it ended up with my own business. I'm 44 years old. I always wanted a business, and he gave me my own business off of his numbers. Basically, if you add up the numbers, instead of putting dashes like 4-17. -4.
Okay.
Put 4 plus 17 plus 4. Do that with the day he was born, September 18th, 4. Crucified April 3, 33. He rose April 6th, 33.
All right.
If you add up all those numbers.
Okay, go on. If you add up all those numbers, sorry, I was going to say, like, what's the point? But please.
Yeah. What do you get to when you add all that up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of different things, too. But one of them is this. One of them, if you add up all the numbers, it's 139. That's a super prime. 139, go to the last book of the Bible, Revelations. Who has an ear, let them hear. Verse 13:9. You go to the first book of the New Testament, same verse, 13:9. Same thing. Whoever has an ear, let them hear. Now, the last part, and this all equals out to April, or to 4:17:4, is book 38. Zechariah 13:9. Again, he says, I will take the third, which 139, a third of that is 4:17. April 17th. He said, I will take the third, and I will bring them to the fire, and I will try them as gold, and try them like silver. And that, it's all mathematics. Just like the first
clearly.
Verse, the data conception is in Genesis 1:1.
Yeah, real quick, James.
Vowels.
I don't know if you've ever heard about some of the incredible mathematics found in the Quran. But I'm sure you're probably familiar at least with like the Arabic history with math and numerals, right? Like we use Arabic numerals today. That was the first group of people that seemingly came up with the concept of zero. Like they did a lot for math and stuff, right?
They were very Akbar about math.
Yeah,
they were, and their math was very Akbar in total. So if I sat here and walked you through some of the incredible mathematics in the Quran, like for instance, there's something along the lines of the amount of times that Allah's name is mentioned in the Quran. And when you add them all up, it produces this very specific number. And if you go to that chapter and verse, it talks about how Allah is the one true God. And like, that's phenomenal. I mean, how could that be the case unless Allah obviously is real and did that, right? If we go through various verses, there's one about like literally there's one about like bees or something, and then like the number of verses in the chapter is like the exact same number of like chromosomes that a bee has or something like that. Like do those types of stories make you now start to think maybe there's something true here with this Muhammad and Allah Quran thing? Or do you just kind of go, wow, that's some interesting coincidences, but I don't see how that demonstrates the truth of these claims? I know that's not a true dichotomy. It's a bit of a leading question, but do you see what I'm coming from there, James?
Right. Oh yeah, I definitely like I said, I would agree with you guys. There's patterns in everything.
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing about it is, you have to break down the probability.
And how do you break down the probability? Well, it's the process
Johnny.
that you go through, James, to break down the probability. And what does breaking down the probability mean to you?
Okay. Here's one. The square root of 7.4 is 4.17. April 17th. It only happens with these numbers. I got his numbers all day. Like I said, he showed me his numbers.
Wait, but why does the square root of 17.4 equaling 4.17? Why is that of importance? I don't understand that. I don't understand what the connection there was.
I'll tell you why it's important.
Yeah,
I'll tell you why it's important, because a lot of these numbers, a lot of the stuff, when I found out the numbers, a lot of it is because I don't know if you're familiar with logos. Language, as far as Hebrew's backwards. So,
well, English is backwards. If
April 17.
Hebrew.
Yeah. We're the weird ones, I guess.
Sideways.
Yeah. Right.
Arabic's backwards, or
Farsi.
So like April 17th could be 174. It also could be 417. You see what I'm saying?
No, I don't. We don't see what you're saying.
No, I
don't.
don't.
As far as the numbers going in different directions, James.
Well, then
James, I'm just going to say
you don't understand mathematics. Then.
Yeah, well, I said that from the get-go, that I didn't understand mathematics, but I'm just wondering, aren't we supposed to have like the faith of a child? Aren't we admonished and encouraged to have the faith of a child? And as far as I know, children, I'm not a child. Maybe they would understand this. It's so simple. A 4-year-old child could understand it, but we don't have any 4-year-old children around here. I don't get it. I don't get what you're saying. I get that numbers relate to each other in different ways because that's how numbers work sometimes. But I don't understand how that leads us to the existence of God. How about this? If it's all right with you, SR, can we skip to the grammar part?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's go to the grammar.
I edit a lot of documents, so.
Yeah, I'm really interested. I love. Some would call me a logophile. I do love words and languages, and so yeah. Give me that.
Yeah.
Give me that syntax. Bring it on.
Cool. All right. All right.
All right. Grammar.
We got a couple of them. one of them, April 17:4. You got your 5 vowels, A-E-I-O-U. Okay, that's one. Now take it for what it is. You know that you might not mean nothing to you, but that's one.
What about why?
Another quick one would be, what's that?
What about why?
No, I was just kind of why is
it's only something.
Yeah, why is a vowel, but sometimes so maybe
and before you go on to your next point, James, what about people who have other vowels? Are you saying that the truth is revealed but only in English and only in
I need to go read it.
Modern English? Because
like I said, man, I'm heavy. I really only speak English, and like I said, man, I'm just going by what I was revealed. It could break out or break down in other languages as well. I don't know.
Would that English, if it did break down in other languages, would that like shake your confidence in this? Like if somebody came up to you and was like, hey man, this is actually really cool that it works for English, but it literally doesn't work for any other language we know about, would that make you kind of go, maybe not so?
Or half and half? What if it's what about other languages?
I would investigate it, but the original Hebrew and Greek, that's been done away with for years.
All right, I'll tell you this: there is more than there's a different number of vowels in ancient Greek than there are in English.
Yeah, for sure.
Alpha, there's eta,
Agreed.
There's epsilon, there's iota, there's omicron, there's omega. Then there's what am I missing? I think I'm missing one. Upsilon? Did I say upsilon?
I think you did.
So that's.
I don't think I know the full Greek alphabet.
Well, I studied ancient Greek once upon a child.
Allegedly.
Yeah. And so ancient Greek, that's one of the languages. I don't know how many vowels there are in ancient Hebrew. And what about Aramaic? And what about Latin? And what about any of the other languages that might have been spoken by regional people of the ancient Near East? I think if you're onto something, I think that maybe you might want to go and check out whether or not those things check out with the other languages. Now, you might want to, do that, and then call us back when you've checked out.
Then you're dismissed. You wouldn't even let me. But why does that matter? I mean, let's look at it like this: 2 plus 2 is 4, right? 3 plus 1 is also 4.
Yeah. Sure is.
It doesn't mean the first one's wrong, correct?
No, but does that work in another language? Like if you and I only spoke Spanish right now, would dos y dos equal cuatro? Y tres y uno igual cuatro? Right? Like they would both equal 4, right? So it would work across the language barrier, whereas the specific thing that you were just bringing to us would not. And that's the distinction. That's the difference. Because the mathematics works, whether you and I are speaking Mandarin or Swahili right now, but this thing might not. And if it doesn't work across all these other languages, you even said hey, that might kind of make me rethink this a little bit. So that's why it's important, man. And that's why the math doesn't.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Would the Hebrew and Greek, if those original languages translated, would that persuade you more than, let's say, a random, Chinese language or Japanese, whatever? It depends to you.
It depends on what the nature of your claim is. Yeah. If what the nature of your claim is that the universality of this God is one that it is not only capable but has revealed itself throughout grammar, then it would have to be something that's more universal. It couldn't just apply to the Koine Greek or the ancient Hebrew. It would have to be something that is more universal, because that's the crux of your claim. That's what's at the underpinning of it. You're saying it's universal. If, however, what you said was hey, Johnny, SR, I'm just saying when you look a little bit more at the Greek and the Hebrew, they're saying more than just what the words are on the page. Like, honestly, I already agree with you there. Yeah, man, I've already looked enough stuff about ancient Hebrew to be like, yeah, there is more going on here than just the words they walked down the street. But again, like the claim you made, at least I thought, was this one of like universality and of God revealing himself in such an undeniable way across all cultures and time. And if that's true, then it would seem to me only doing that in one language that definitely isn't spoken anymore. That's not a great way to do it.
That's not fair. I only speak English. I mean, I don't know. Well, I only speak English.
Well, I get that. I'm not criticizing you. I'm criticizing your God. I'm saying if your God did it this way, that's not a good way.
If your God did it this way,
but how do you know he did? Like, I don't know. I know the original Hebrew and Greek. Can I say one more thing in my closing arguments, and then I'll kind of take off, you guys?
Johnny's in charge.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just one more thing about the grammar. The first verse in the Bible, Genesis 1:1, and the last verse of Revelation, it's the same verse. 44 letters, 17 vowels. April 17:4. You add up the alphabet and the reverse alphabet to both of them separately. You add them, they both equal the same number. 1188. That's the middle chapter of the Bible. Psalm 118, verse 8. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put your confidence in man. I appreciate you guys. Yeah. God bless you guys, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, science bless you.
Science bless you too. Thanks for calling, James.